We're back to this book, Tying Catskill Style Dry Flies by Mike Valla. We are on the Gray Fox variant. That's chapter 14. This is a strange one. It's a very Neversink skater style, but very cool. I'm really starting to get into these. If you saw that Sinberg that I tied. I like this stuff. I mean, it's really interesting. So let's get started. The hook I'm using is the same one as I've always been using on these, which is this Allcock right here, size 10. If you look in the description, you'll get a link to all the flies that I've tied from that book. And I'm using this Giorgio Benici white. That's it. And we're going to tie on pretty far back. And so there's no wing on this, it's just hackle. Let's go here. The tail is like a light ginger. So I just have a whiting tailing feather right here, and I'll take most of this off. It's got a pretty good tail on it. It's a, since it's a long hackle, you definitely got to balance it for sure. So let's go back a turn here. Now I'm tying this on to bare hook, but I'm just trying to keep them all together. That's why I'm doing that. That's pretty good. The body is this stem from a cream colored hackle. So this is just a Metz neck that I pulled this thing from, one of the bigger ones. And we're just going to make sure. Looks like I left a few fibers here. And one thing about this is that the body and the hackle are kind of like the same amount. Like, we're only tying the body up just a little past the point. So we're going to tie in this right there, just on the side, and I'm going to try and keep it even. That's it. And we'll go back to, I think, right there. Now I soaked this stem for a few hours, which I assume is enough. I started out with pretty hot water, which I think is a good move. If you want to try and use them fairly soon, start with pretty hot water. Yeah, this is looking okay. I think I need to go one more. I think that's. Let's look at this for a second here. I think that I should stop there. That's what I should do. Let's stop there. Never tied this before. This is the first time I'm tying it, so I'm just, I don't know, being a little cautious, I guess. But I think before we go any further, we got to adjust this camera because the hackle's massive. That should be all right. All right, we're gonna switch to a. This is just tan 80 uni. This is probably unnecessary, but I always hate ending in white. So let's just make sure. Okay, so let's get these hackles in. 3 hackles. 3 hackles. We got natural brown, grizzly, and a ginger. See that? And I'm using really big ones because the hackle needs to be really big. So I'm basically using saddle hackles. Now let's do. I don't want it to be too soft. So we got 1. This is the ginger. Just got 2 turns in there. And let's get this brown. This is the one I'm going to want the most of. So, because it's going to darken down the bright stuff. I got ginger and I got grizzly. Those are both bright. So, and what I mean bright is that they have bright qualities. Obviously, the grizzly has black, but the white is going to show up like crazy. So let's get in here. Put that one in. Now I'm going to make sure these are tied in real good, and I'm also just going to build up this area. Take any kind of slope out of it. Okay. So I'm going to try and end it right there. First, let's get this grizzly through. I'm not using hackle pliers, so I'm going to just do some couple looping turns. And I'm right on there. And I need hackle pliers for these. What's next? Brown. We'll get in some extra of these. Come on, bend over for me. Oh, that sounds weird. So let's take a. You can, if you're not careful, you can really trap in some stuff. So you gotta, if you saw, I left some space with that grizzly. Ooh, we popped out. It's tricky because you want to leave some space when you bring that first one up so that you can get the next hackle in between. Okay, and let's catch this here. Let's not do that actually. Let's bring this around and then catch it up here. Just ends better. Okay. And then we bring this thing through. Another thing you gotta remember is these stems are thick up here. When you're taking, you know, saddles, essentially, when you're using saddle, it's thick. So you don't have much room. Am I gonna be able to do this? Let's take a look here. Just wiggling to just try and get this thing through. I see a space in here. Okay. Now we got some things going forward, but we should be able to just gently pull them back. further. I want to clip these. Caught my finger. That's not catching your finger in a daiichi. Yikes. All right. Let's bring this out. Yeah. Yeah. This is not an easy one. Man, it says the front. This is not an easy one. This is probably the one that you think is easy, but it's actually hard. Like that gap between how easy you think it is, but how hard it really is. Two things that are not so good about this is that one is that you need these big hackles, which means you can have big stems, and you have to tie off 3 stems up here. And if you want that space like I have up front, you better leave yourself a ton of room. I barely left enough. I really did. I barely left enough. The next thing is that those stems have to lay next to each other in here. How the hell are you going to do that? So what happens is they kind of go on top of each other a little bit, and they send fibers all which way. So you got to get in here, and you really got to crease them good. You know, just to make it, you know, sort of look right. So I got like, sometimes you just got to come in here and really give it a good bend. And maybe you got to hook them on other things, and this one is not easy. Those are the two big problems with it for sure. And I guess it's all related to the stem thickness. That's the issue. It's all related to the stem thickness. So that's it. Gray Fox variant. Cool fly. Very cool fly. I've been really getting into these skater style flies ever since that Sinberg. I saw that thing that John tied. I was like, man, it's just different. It's cool. It's neat. And I gotta tie some more. I gotta tie some more for sure. Yeah. All right. Gray Fox variant. Thanks.